with powers of 10 that have exponential values, it's really easy to work with them because you can multiply and divide those exponential values by adding and subtracting. And you don't need to use any kind of calculator or scientific calculator when you are dealing with multiplying and dividing powers of 10. For example, when you have 10 to the third times 10 to the fourth, these are multiplying, so you add the exponents. So you're adding the exponents, which are the 3 and the 4, so this is 3 plus 4, which is 7, and that becomes the new power of 10 in the answer, so it's just 10 to the 7. So when you're dividing exponential values, those are powers of 10, you subtract those exponents. And one thing that's really tricky that people don't always remember is that when you subtract a negative, that becomes a positive. So let me show you what this means. So 10 to the third divided by 10 to the fourth. This would also look like this, 10 to the third over 10 to the 4. So this is division, or this dividing, or it could also look like this, 10 to the third, and that would be the slash 10 to the fourth. Those are all division. So when you're dividing with powers of 10, you subtract the exponents. And so this would be 3 minus 4, or negative 1. So this would be equal to 10 to the negative 1 power. Okay. So this is 10 to the negative 3 divided by 10 to the negative 4. So a couple other ways you might see this is 10 to the negative 3 slash 10 to the negative 4, or 10 to the negative 3 over 10 to the negative 4. Either way, the working with this is subtracting the exponents. So this would be minus 3, and then minus, subtracting a negative, the negative 4. Okay, that's the negative 4 here, and subtracting it because you're dividing. And so when you have the two negatives, those become a positive. So subtracting a negative equals a positive. So this ends up being 4 minus 3, or minus 3 plus 4, 4 minus 3, or minus 3 plus 4, and that would be 1, or 10 to the 1. So that's how you get that answer. So only when you are raising an exponent to another exponent do you multiply the exponents. Okay, so that is an example here, 10 to the third raised to the power of 2. So this would be 3 times 2, or 6, and that's how you would get 10 to the 6th. One thing to remember is that 10 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. And so this becomes important when you have something like 1 over 10 to the third. Okay, so 1 over 10 to the third, you can replace this 1 with 10 to the 0, and then the 10 to the third stays the same. So, and this is dividing, so when you divide, that means you subtract those exponents. And so this would be 0 minus 3, or negative 3. So this would be 10 to the negative 3. Okay, and so this becomes important when you have a power of 10 that's in the denominator, that's the bottom part of this fraction.